Welcome to the Deep Dive. Today we're inviting you to imagine a place where, well, the clock seems to slow right down, where ancient streets echo with the soft steps of saffron-robed monks at dawn, and the mighty Mekong River carves its path through landscapes that feel largely untouched.
Yeah.
That, my friends, is Laos, often whispered about as Southeast Asia's real hidden gem.
It really is.
So, for you, our listener, what's the authentic experience like in this tranquil and profoundly spiritual nation? Is it really just a stop for backpackers, or is there, a richer tapestry to discover?
That's the key question, isn't it?
And maybe most importantly, how do you uncover its unique charm, its stunning nature and deep culture, without missing a single crucial beat?
Well, our mission in this deep dive is exactly that, to sort of unpack Laos for you, reveal its undeniable allure, cover the critical details, and show you precisely how to plan a memorable and hopefully smoothly executed Southeast Asian adventure. And this is all based on the sources we've really dug into.
Great. So we're going to explore Laos's diverse regions, those iconic experiences. We'll break down the actual costs, what you might really spend for different travel styles.
Yep, the practical stuff.
Untangle the logistics of getting around this fascinating country, because I hear that can be interesting, and share essential insider tips to truly make the most of your journey. Let's dive in.
Let's do it.
Okay, let's unpack this then. What is it about Laos that sets it so distinctly apart from its bustling neighbors in Southeast Asia?
Well, I think what's truly fascinating here is its unique status. It's the only landlocked country in Southeast Asia.
Right, surrounded by everyone.
Exactly. Thailand, Vietnam, Cambodia, China, Myanmar, it's right in the middle. And this geographical isolation may be coupled with a history of, let's say, less intense colonial influence compared to some neighbors.
Okay.
It's allowed Laos to forge this really distinct cultural resilience. Its traditions and that slower pace of life, they feel deeply rooted in community and a kind of self-sufficiency.
Interesting. Not just shaped by outside pressures.
Yeah, exactly. It doesn't just feel preserved. It feels like it's evolved on its own very authentic terms.
You can absolutely feel that difference, I think. It's often described as maybe the most spiritual country in the region, that incredible sense of peace, that tranquility. How does that deep Buddhist influence really manifest for a visitor?
It's more than just the visuals, the monks in their saffron robes, which are striking.
Sure.
It translates into this tangible national temperament, a pervasive sense of acceptance, maybe? And living in the present, you often find this remarkable calm, even amidst what might seem like chaos elsewhere.
Yeah.
And that influences daily life. It seems less consumerist, more community-focused. You really see it in the morning alms rituals.
The talk bat.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Villagers quietly offering food to the monks at dawn. It connects the community and faith in such a simple, powerful way. It's this quiet reverence that just invites you to slow down and, simply be.
And often intertwined with that spirituality is the Mekong River. It's clearly more than just a beautiful waterway, isn't it?
Oh, absolutely. If we connect this to the bigger picture, the Mekong isn't just some scenic backdrop. It's the very lifeblood of Laos.
Right.
It shapes the geography, it dictates the culture, it fuels daily life. It's a vital transport route, a source of sustenance, a central point for countless towns and villages.
So experiencing it is key.
Definitely. Experiencing the Mekong, whether you take a slow boat, eat at a riverside restaurant, or just watch daily life unfold along its banks, that's truly essential to understanding the rhythm of Laos.
So, beyond that spiritual charm and the river's rhythm, what about the sheer natural beauty? I've heard about some pretty dramatic landscapes.
Oh, without a doubt. Laos boasts some stunning natural beauty. It really appeals to adventurers and nature lovers alike.
Like what specifically?
Well, we're talking dramatic limestone karsts, particularly around Vang, Vieng. They just rise majestically from the landscape.
Yeah.
Then you have cascading waterfalls like the multi-tiered turquoise pools of Kuang Si Falls.
Oh, those look incredible in photos.
They are. And the serene Falls, too. Lush green jungles, ancient mysterious caves. It's a country that really encourages you to get out and explore its wild side.
Okay.
And this also raises an important point about Laos's rich cultural heritage. Beyond the natural beauty, you have these perfectly preserved ancient royal capitals like Luang Prabang. It's a UNESCO World Heritage Site for a reason.
Right.
Its layered architectural beauty tells stories, from ancient kingdoms right through its colonial past. And these aren't just relics. Traditional crafts, music, festivals, they're very much alive. It offers a really vibrant cultural experience.
So having covered the essence of Laos, Let's turn to the heart of the experience. If someone's going for the first time, what are the absolute must-do activities and sites? What are those unmissable moments?
Right, the highlights. Your journey in Laos often begins, or at least centers around, Luang Prabang. It truly feels like the spiritual and cultural heart.
Okay.
And there are, I'd say, 3 unmissable experiences there. First, witnessing that serene early morning almsgiving ceremony Takbat, where the monks quietly collect food offerings at dawn. It's profoundly spiritual, but it's really important to observe respectfully, from a distance.
Good point. What else?
Second, climbing Mount Fauci for those panoramic sunset views over the Mekong and Namkon rivers. That's essential.
The classic photo spot.
Totally. And third, immersing yourself in the vibrant night market. Great for browsing exquisite handicrafts and enjoying delicious street food.
Night markets are always a highlight.
Definitely. And beyond those, you can delve deeper. Maybe take a scenic long-tail boat trip up the Mekong to the sacred Pak-U caves. They're filled with thousands of Buddha images.
Wow.
Or explore the magnificent 16th century Wat Sheng Thong Temple. Luang Prabang just has this wonderfully slow pace and beautiful colonial French architecture that invites you to linger.
And for a completely different energy, you mentioned Vieng. I've heard it has quite a storied past. Once known for its wilder backpacker scene, how has it truly evolved? Is there still a noticeable trace of that old party scene, or is it genuinely transformed?
That's a really good question, and it's actually a testament to Laos's adaptability. Vieng has definitely shed much of its crazy hedonistic city image from the late 90s, early 2000s.
Okay, continue.
While you can still find, a lively area, the town has genuinely transformed into more of a hub for outdoor adventure.
Right.
Think jungle hikes, those incredible limestone karsts, a real focus on activities. You'll find more boutique hotels and high-end restaurants now replacing some of those old party bars.
So what are the main activities there now?
Tubing or kayaking down the Namsong River amidst those dramatic karsts is still popular, but maybe a bit calmer. Swimming in the turquoise Blue Lagoon and exploring Pam Phu Kam Cave is a must.
Heard about the Blue Lagoon.
Yeah, it's famous. You can even take hot air balloon rides for incredible aerial views at sunrise. And there's fantastic rock climbing and hiking for all levels. It's really found a new identity.
That sounds much more appealing, actually.
It is. And beyond those main hubs, Laos offers such a spectrum of diverse experiences. If you head south, you can immerse yourself in the tranquil beauty of the 4,000 islands Si Phandon.
4,000 islands.
But maybe not quite 4,000, but it's a vast area of tiny islands in the Mekong. Super laid back, perfect for chilling in hammocks, exploring by bike.
Sounds idyllic.
It is. Then, for history buffs or mystery lovers, the Plain of Jars is a truly enigmatic UNESCO site. Thousands of ancient stone jars. They think maybe for Iron Age burial practices.
Wow. Okay, but you mentioned a safety note there.
Yes, absolutely crucial. If you visit the Plain of Jars, take care not to stray too far from the clearly marked cleared areas.
Right.
There is still unexploded ordnance UXO from past conflicts in the wider region, so always stick to the marked trails. It's very important.
Got it. Stick to the path.
Exactly. Shifting gears again for a unique historical experience, there's the Vieng Shai Cave City, near the Vietnamese border. These were living quarters for Laotian soldiers during the 1960s. They have fascinating audio tours.
Incredible. And for adventure.
Well, one of the most talked about activities is the Gibbon experience in Bokeo Province. It's this unique, eco-friendly adventure with zip lines and tree houses. You get an unparalleled perspective of the jungle canopy. It's often called one of the best activities in Laos.
That sounds amazing.
Even the capital, Vientiane, while charmingly laid back, has key sites like Pha, That Luang, the Golden Stupa, and Patux's, the Victory Arch. It's also home to the Cope Visitor Center.
What's that?
It's a really powerful and important place for raising awareness about the legacy of unexploded ordnance in Laos. Very moving, very educational.
Right. Sounds essential.
And if you want deeper cultural exchange, you could try a monk chat in Vientiane or take a Lao cooking class to master dishes like Lap or Mokpa. Lots to do beyond the main trail.
Let's talk food. What makes Lao cuisine distinct? How does it set itself apart from, say, Thai or Vietnamese, which people might be more familiar with? And what are the absolute must-try dishes?
Ah, Lao food. Yeah, it's truly unique. It's characterized by incredible freshness, loads of herbs, and this bold balance of spicy, sour, salty, and sweet flavors.
Hmm.
It often emphasizes grilled and steamed dishes, and fermentation plays a big role, giving it a depth that's really distinctly different from its neighbors.
Okay. And the absolute staple, of course, is sticky rice, right? Khao niao.
Absolutely. It's not just a side dish. It's a cultural cornerstone, usually served in a little bamboo basket called a tip cow.
Right.
And you eat it traditionally with your hands, rolling it into small balls for dipping into sauces or scooping up other dishes. It really anchors every meal.
Essential. So what's the national dish everyone talks about?
That would be lepa, sometimes spelled larb. You absolutely must try it. It's this savory salad, usually minced meat, pork, chicken, fish, sometimes beef.
Okay.
And it's vibrantly mixed with ground roasted rice, fresh lime juice, fish sauce, chilies, and just a ton of fresh herbs like mint and cilantro. It's incredibly aromatic, bursting with texture and flavor.
Sounds amazing.
It really is.
And something maybe familiar yet different. Papaya salad, tam mak hom. How does it compare to the Thai version, sum tum?
Good question. It's similar, but the Lao version definitely has its own distinct twist. It's often more pungent, maybe more complex. That's usually down to the generous use of fermented fish sauce called padak.
Oh, hi, okay.
Yeah, it adds this distinctive, almost earthy flavor that truly sets Lao papaya salad apart. Some people love it, some find it strong, but it's very Lao.
Worth trying for sure. What other specialties should we look for?
Definitely look for makpa. It's a delicious dish, usually fish or sometimes chicken, steamed inside banana leaves with herbs and spices. Very fragrant.
Steamed and banana leaves always sounds good.
It is. Then there's sindad. That's the fun communal Lao BBQ or hot pot. You grill meat on a dome in the middle, and there's a moat around it where broth boils for veggies and noodles. Great social meal.
Oh, like a Korean BBQ meets hot pot.
Kinda, yeah. Lao style. Also, khao pyak san is a comforting Lao noodle soup, often with handmade rice noodles. And ping gai, simple, delicious, grilled, marinated chicken. You'll find it everywhere, especially street side.
Okay, my mouth is watering now. What about drinks and sweets? I've heard good things about the local brew.
You're right. Beer Lao is the national beer. It's widely popular and honestly considered one of the best lagers in Southeast Asia. Really refreshing.
Good to know.
You'll also find strong, delicious Lao coffee, often served sweet with condensed milk like Vietnamese coffee.
Yeah.
And tons of refreshing fresh fruit shakes everywhere.
Perfect for the heat.
Exactly. And for dessert, the classic sweet sticky rice with mango is just as popular and delicious in Laos as it is in Thailand. A fantastic treat when mangoes are in season.
And where do you find all this? Just restaurants?
Oh, everywhere. Dining experiences range from humble street food stalls and bustling night markets, which are perfect for incredibly cheap and authentic eats,
My favorite.
to charming riverside restaurants and more upscale options, especially in Luang Prabang and Vientiane. Laos offers a wonderfully relaxed and authentic culinary journey, really at every price point.
Okay, so once you're happily fed and immersed in all that culture,
Yeah.
what does this mean for where you'll actually lay your head at night and how you'll get around? Let's talk practicalities.
Right, the nuts and bolts. Accommodation first. Laos offers incredible value. It's generally very affordable for travelers.
Yeah.
You'll find numerous hostels in popular towns like Luang Prabang, Vang, Vieng, even Vientiane. Dorm beds typically range from, say, $5 to $15 USD per night. Pretty standard.
Very budget friendly.
Totally. Simple guest houses, basic private rooms, you can find those for maybe $10 to $30 USD a night. Often family run, quite charming.
Nice. What about mid-range?
For mid-range, you'll find lovely boutique hotels, sometimes in renovated colonial buildings, especially in Luang Prabang, and comfortable modern hotels in Vientiane, generally maybe $35 to $80 USD per night.
Still pretty reasonable.
Yeah. And while maybe not as abundant as in, say, Thailand, Laos does have some stunning luxury hotels and resorts, particularly in Luang Prabang and Vientiane, often with that colonial charm, beautiful pools, top-notch service. Prices there might range from $100 up to $300 USD, maybe even higher per night.
Okay, so options for everyone.
Definitely. Location and amenities like aircon, private bathrooms, they're key factors, obviously. And booking ahead is always a good idea, especially during peak season, November to February.
Right. Now, getting around, I've heard stories about the roads and the concept of Laos time when it comes to travel. What's the reality of navigating this country?
Yeah, that's a very accurate observation. Getting around Laos can indeed be, let's say, a test of patience sometimes. The roads, especially once you get off the main routes, can be poor and winding. You're navigating mountain passes quite often. And yeah, the concept of Laos time is very real.
Meaning?
Meaning things don't always run exactly on schedule. Nothing is ever truly on time. And even seemingly short trips can turn into unexpected, longer journeys.
So pack your patience.
Absolutely. It's an important mindset shift. Try to embrace the journey itself rather than focusing solely on the destination arrival time. It's part of the experience.
Fair enough. So what are the main options for long-distance travel?
Buses are the most common and affordable way. You've got basic local buses, slightly better VIP buses, and overnight sleeper buses.
How much are we talking?
They're incredibly affordable, maybe just a few dollars for a local bus ride, up to around $15, $20 USD for a more comfortable VIP sleeper, even for quite long journeys like Vientiane to Luang Prabang.
Wow, okay.
Then you have the slow boats on the Mekong. That's a really popular, incredibly scenic multi-day journey between Huaizhe, near the Thai border, and Luang Prabang. Gives you a unique perspective on riverside life.
Heard that's a classic. Takes a while, though.
Yeah, usually 2 days with an overnight stop. Then there's the new modern high-speed train. That's part of the Laos-China Railway.
Oh, right. That's changing things.
Big time. It connects Vientiane, Vieng, and Luang Prabang. It's much, much faster and more comfortable than the buses.
But pricey.
Definitely pricier, yeah. You'll want to book tickets in advance, especially now it's getting popular. You can often do that online or through agents.
Okay. Any other options?
Finally, domestic flights. Lao Airlines flies between Vientiane, Luang Prabang, Pak Se in the south. Quickest way to cover long distances, but obviously the most expensive option.
Right. And once you're actually in the towns themselves, how do you zip around?
Within towns, tuk-tuks are pretty much the primary mode for short distances. Always negotiate the price before you get in.
Good tip. Standard practice.
Yep. Bicycles are excellent in many towns, especially flat places like Luang Prabang or down in the 4,000 Islands. Often you can rent them cheaply, or sometimes guest houses offer them for free.
Nice. I like cycling around towns.
Me too. And most town centers like Luang Prabang's Old Quarter or Vientiane's Riverside area are very walkable. That's often the best way to explore.
Okay. What about motorbikes?
Motorbike rentals are available, yeah. Good for exploring surrounding areas like waterfalls near Luang Prabang, and this is a big, but only if you are an experienced rider.
Why is that?
Traffic can be unpredictable, road conditions vary wildly, and you'll definitely need an international driving permit and good insurance. So exercise extreme caution if you go that route.
Understood. Experience needed. Okay, let's talk money. We touched on accommodation costs, but overall, how does Laos stack up budget-wise?
As we discussed, Laos is generally a very affordable destination. It offers excellent value for money, especially compared to, say, Western Europe or North America.
So what kind of daily budget are we looking at?
Okay, rough estimates, excluding your international flights, of course. A budget traveler, think hostel dorms, street food, local buses, enjoying free attractions like wandering temples, could probably manage on $20 to $40 USD per day.
Wow, that's really low.
It is doable, yeah. A mid-range traveler may be staying in boutique guest houses, mixing street food with restaurant meals, taking VIP buses or the occasional train, doing some paid activities, should probably budget around $45 to $90 USD per day.
Okay, still very reasonable.
And for luxury travelers, staying in high-end hotels, enjoying fine dining, maybe private transfers, indulging in top experiences like hot air ballooning daily costs, could easily go from $100 up to $250 USD or even more, especially in places like Luang Prabang.
So what are the key things that typically drive up those costs if you're not careful? Where does the money go?
The main cost drivers are usually those unique activities. Things like the Gibbon experience, which is amazing and not cheap, or hot air ballooning in Vieng.
Makes sense.
Luxury accommodation, obviously. Alcohol, especially imported spirits, can add up compared to local beer. Souvenirs, if you get carried away at the markets.
Easily done.
And that high-speed train travel, while convenient, is significantly more expensive than taking the bus.
Right. So any tips for stretching the kip, the local currency? How can you save money?
Yeah, absolutely. The simplest way is to really embrace the local lifestyle. Eat the incredible street food and at local restaurants. It's not just delicious and authentic, it's incredibly cheap. Seriously, you can get amazing meals for just a couple of dollars.
Best tip for any country, usually.
Totally. Beyond food, consider those local buses for long distances if you're not in a huge rush. You see more of the country and save a lot on transport.
Okay.
Always bargain respectfully, but do bargain for tuk-tuks and market purchases. It's expected. Opt for the local beer lao over imported drinks if you fancy a beer.
Good old beer lao.
And crucially, for both health and budget, always drink bottled water. Or even better, bring a reusable water bottle with a built-in filter. Tap water is generally not safe to drink, so buying bottled water constantly adds up. A filter saves money and plastic.
Great practical advice. All right, now let's talk about something we can't control quite as much. The weather. What's the best time to visit Laos, generally speaking? And what should you expect during different seasons?
Right, the climate. Laos has a tropical climate, pretty much two main seasons, dry and wet, with the transition period. The best time really depends on what you prioritize.
So what's the peak season?
The main dry season, roughly November to February, is generally considered the most popular time. You get pleasant, warm temperatures, maybe 20-30 degrees C, that's 68-86 degrees Fahrenheit. Low humidity, minimal rain.
Sounds ideal.
It's pretty good. Rivers are usually at their highest after the wet season, making boat travel easy. It's great for all outdoor activities, trekking, exploring cities, but it's peak tourist season. So expect higher prices for accommodation and flights and more crowds at major sites.
Okay, trade-offs. What comes next?
After that, you get the hot, dry season, roughly March to May. And they mean hot. Temperatures can really soar, often over 30-40 degrees C, 86-104 degrees F. Plus, it can be very hot and dry. Rivers might be lower, affecting some boat trips. And unfortunately, air quality can sometimes be poor, especially in the north, due to agricultural burning or slash-and-burn practices. Fewer tourists, though.
Right, the burning season. Not ideal.
Not always, no. Then comes the wet season, or green season, from about June to October. This brings more frequent rainfall, higher humidity, but actually slightly cooler temperatures than the hot season.
Does it rain all day?
Usually not. The rain often comes in short, heavy bursts, typically in the afternoon, leaving the rest of the day sunny or overcast. It's the low season, so fewer crowds and lower prices.
And the landscape.
Incredibly lush and green, everything comes alive. Waterfalls are at their absolute fullest and most spectacular during this time, so it has its own beauty.
Okay, so each season has its pros and cons. Good to know. Now let's talk about the heart of Laos. Its people, its culture. What do visitors need to know to navigate respectfully and safely?
This is really important. Buddhism is absolutely central to Lao life. You'll see its influence everywhere. Temples, monks, daily rituals, they're often the focal points of communities.
So temple etiquette is key.
Definitely. When visiting temples, always dress modestly. That means covering your shoulders and knees, both men and women. And always remove your shoes before entering temple buildings.
Standard practice in the region.
Yes. And it's also very important never to touch a monk, especially for women. And avoid pointing your feet at Buddha images or people, as the feet are considered the lowest part of the body. It's highly disrespectful.
Okay, good reminders. What about the general demeanor of the people?
Laotians are generally known for being very polite, humble, and respectful. A gentle demeanor, a genuine smile, the nap gesture, a slight bow with hands pressed together goes a long way. Using both hands when giving or receiving something is also a sign of respect.
And that famous laid-back attitude.
It's real. Laos truly embodies a Bo Pen Yang philosophy, don't worry, or it's okay. Things genuinely move at a slower pace. Trying to rush things often just doesn't work and can cause frustration.
So embrace the rhythm.
Exactly. It's part of the charm. Just relax into it. Life along the Mekong is also unique, with many communities deeply tied to the river's rhythms for fishing, farming, transport.
And it's not just one culture, right?
Yeah. Not at all. Laos is incredibly diverse ethnically. There are over 60 distinct ethnic groups, each often with its own language, customs, and traditions, like the Lao Lum, the Hamphong, the Khmu. It adds amazing richness.
Wow. Language-wise.
Lao is the official language. English is fairly widely spoken in tourist areas, hotels, restaurants, but learning even a few basic phrases is hugely appreciated. Sabaidi for hello, goodbye, and kop chai for thank you. Simple things like that really open doors and show respect.
Sabaidi, kop chai, got it. It's fascinating how this laid-back, respectful culture intertwines with the practical safety considerations for travelers. What should our listeners know to navigate peacefully, but also safely?
That's a crucial connection to make, yeah. While Laos is generally a very safe country for tourists, especially regarding violent crime, which is low.
That's reassuring.
It is. But it's still essential to exercise common sense precautions. Petty crime, like pickpocketing or bag snatching, can occur, especially in busy markets or on crowded buses or tuk-tuks. So keep your valuables secure, maybe use a money belt, don't flash cash or expensive gear.
Standard travel smarts. What about traffic?
Traffic can be chaotic, particularly in Vientiane. Be extremely cautious when crossing roads. Look both ways, then look again. And as we mentioned, motorbike rentals really should only be for experienced riders with a proper international driving permit and good insurance.
Okay. Food and water safety.
Enjoy the incredible street food, absolutely. But maybe choose stalls that look busy, clean, and where food is cooked fresh in front of you.
Yeah.
And crucially, as we said before, drink bottled water only. Avoid tap water and be wary of ice unless you're in a reputable tourist restaurant or hotel where it's likely made from filtered water.
Right. Bottled water or filter bottle.
Exactly. Now, a critical safety warning specific to Laos, unexploded ordnance, or UXO.
Yeah, you mentioned this with the plane of jars.
It's a wider issue. Laos is, per capita, the most heavily bombed country in history due to conflicts in the 60s and 70s. Millions of bombs were dropped, and many didn't explode.
That's staggering.
It is. While major tourist areas, towns, and main roads are cleared and generally safe, if you venture into remote, unmarked rural areas, especially if you go hiking off established paths, be acutely aware of the risk of UXO.
So the advice is?
Always stick to marked trails and designated tourist areas. Never pick up strange metal objects. Heed local advice and warning signs. It's a serious legacy issue.
Understood. Stick to the paths, especially in rural areas.
Definitely. Also, be extremely wary of any offers involving drugs, particularly sometimes targeted at tourists in places like Vang, Vieng. Penalties are incredibly severe in Laos, including the death penalty. Just don't go there.
Wise advice anywhere. Anything else?
If you're taking boat trips, especially local ones, just take a quick look. Does the boat look reasonably safe? Are there life jackets available? Basic checks, and maybe know the emergency numbers. Police is 191, ambulance is 195, tourist police is 192.
Good.
Overall, the general advice applies. Trust your instincts. If a situation feels off, remove yourself. Make copies of your passport and visa. And absolutely consider comprehensive travel insurance that covers medical evacuation.
Excellent point. So there you have it, Laos, a country that seems to beautifully blend that profound spirituality with breathtaking natural beauty, offering a tranquil pace of life, an incredible culture, and clearly some delicious cuisine.
Absolutely.
And while it's often maybe overshadowed by its neighbors, it sounds like, with smart planning and, importantly, an open mind, it's an utterly captivating and rewarding Southeast Asian gem.
I think that sums it up perfectly. Ultimately, this deep dive shows how Laos offers not just a travel destination, but I think a rare chance to experience a truly preserved way of life, where time seems to operate on a different, maybe more human rhythm.
That's a beautiful way to put it. Which leads to a final thought for you, our listener. Considering Laos's emphasis on that slower pace, that Bopinyang attitude, and its deep connection to tradition, what lessons might we, as constant learners often navigating a fast-paced, maybe chaotic world, take from its unique approach to daily life and discovery? Something to ponder.